Hello, and thank you for joining me today for Real Estate, Religion, and You. My name is Sylvia Black, licensed real estate broker with affordable homes and apartments, and I'm licensed to preach and I'm ordained as a minister, and I have my master's degree in sacred theological divinity. And thank you for joining me today for Real Estate, Religion, and You, which airs every Wednesday right here on Time Warner Public Access TV Channel 20, Wednesdays 6:30 to 7, and Saturdays from 12:30 to 1 in the afternoon. And again, I'd like to thank you for joining me today. You can also hit me up on YouTube at sblack3001, which is my YouTube channel. You can also hit me up on Facebook, Dr. Sylvia Black. You can also Black Preaching Network. And I'd like to thank you for joining me today. Now today I'd like to talk to you about a book, another book that I have written. And this is entitled, You're Fired. Okay, it's entitled, this is the correct cover, it'll say You're Fired, Handling the Exit Interview with Grace. Okay, and this is the actual book itself. It's not a big book, it's a small book, because, you know, handling the interview with Grace, I get right to the point. And again, I'd like to thank you for joining me today for Real Estate, Religion, and You, which airs every Wednesday right here on Time Warner Public Access TV Channel 20, Wednesdays 6:30 to 7, and also Saturdays from 12:30 to 1 in the afternoon. And again, I'd like to thank you for joining me. And my name is Dr. Sylvia Black, and I'm your host. Now, I know that perhaps you've gotten fired from your job. If you haven't gotten fired from your job, you probably will be getting fired from your job soon. I don't want to say that, but I don't want to put a curse on you. But if anybody should know about job separation, it definitely should be me. Okay? Now, like I said, I have been fired from more jobs than a cannonball on the 4th of July, actually. If you don't know that, you'll know it by now. Okay. Okay, I'm trying to find my things here. Alrighty. Thank you very much for joining me today. I should have did this before. These icons seem to keep moving around on this computer for some reason or another. But now I think I got it. Okay, in 2003, I had 15 W-2 forms to file. I don't know how many you have to file, but I had to file about 15 of them. And I'm about to put myself in a Guinness Book of World Records for the woman with the most jobs. Okay. Now, here's some questions that you want to think about when it's time for you to go back on the interview, when you want to get another interview for a job. But the answers these are questions that you do not answer honestly. Okay? And the first one is, why did you leave your last job? And the answer is because I was fired, and it took a long time to find this one. Okay? Okay. Have you ever been fired or forced to resign? I guess my first answer would be, do you really want me to answer that? You know. But I would say, my answer is yes. Otherwise, I was forced to resign, yes, because otherwise I would have gotten fired. So I resigned. Okay. Alrighty. And then they'll say, why have you had so many jobs in such a short period of time? And the answer is because I was fired from every one of them. Can you explain the gap in your employment history? Answer, yes. I worked for so many companies and I was fired from every one of them that it was best that I left them out of my resume. Okay? So why should we hire you? What can you do for us that someone else cannot? Well, I guess my main answer would be that I work for so many companies, you know, I can pretty much run it right now. You know, what would you hope to accomplish in your first 90 days? Answer, not to get fired. Okay. Give me an example of a problem that you faced on a job and tell me how you solved it. Answer, when they informed me that they were going to let me go, I begged them not to fire me. What was your role in your department's most recent success? Answer, to keep from getting fired. Share some examples of how you've been able to motivate other people. Answer, by telling them of some of the stories of how I got fired. Tell me about a time when you had to use your presentation skills to influence someone's opinion. How did you prepare and what was the outcome? Answer, it was at the exit interview and I used my grace to exit like I was at an Oscar-winning performance. Got you. Walk me through the steps that, you took to reach an important long-term goal. Answer, yeah, I worked at one company for a whole year without getting fired. What was your biggest weakness? Give some examples of areas where you need to improve. Answer, crying after I get fired and my eyeballs almost popping out. Describe a decision you made that was unpopular and how you handled implementing it. Answer, not to knock my supervisor in the head and destroy the company computer equipment when they fired me. Okay? How did you go about learning new technical skills? Answer technically is at each job I worked. It wasn't intentional though. Actually, okay. Now let's get down to business. We got the laughing out of the way. Now, when you hear those infamous words, you're fired. Just think of this picture. Stay calm. You'll be better able to get on the road and get back on your feet if you stay calm. You should always carry some kind of medication with you, some kind of anxiety reducing, medication, something that's going to actually help you to stay calm and not knock nobody out. Okay? Everyone gets fired once in a while. People get downsized. Companies go out of business. They lose contracts. Something happens. Nothing is, very little is guaranteed in this world. But when you get fired, and you will get fired, if you haven't gotten fired already, you will. And if you've gotten fired already, then you know what I'm talking about. They may have downsized you. You may have been working temporary. They may have said, well, we don't need your services anymore. The assignment is complete, blah, blah, blah. Just stay calm, because everyone gets fired. It happens to everyone. Sometimes sleeping pills are, a good thing to carry. I don't know, something that sort of relaxes you, can, give you almost instant relief. Other than drugs, You may find yourself driving yourself to the emergency room or to the nearest hospital after you get fired. You might have to do that, It's okay. Don't worry about it. You're still alive, and you still have the ability to get another job at another company. You have skills that you can take with you from this job and go to the next. Okay? You will see another day to fruition, and you'll make it. Try to take it easy. Go to the doctor. Definitely take care of yourself. This is the time now that you have extra time to go to the doctor, make those appointments that you were unable to make when you were working, and don't freak out. My brothers and sisters, please try not to freak out, okay? Try to prevent your emotions from getting the best of you, okay? The calmer you stay, the faster you'll get past this crisis and out the door. Look beyond what's happening to you now and realize that there is life after this job. You've learned a new skill at this job, and now it's time to use the skill in a new place of employment. Okay, remember, don't freak out. Try to stay quiet. Try to stay, still, and keep your mouth shut. Try to stay composed. If you can't, just say, "Can you excuse me? I got to go to the ladies' room right quick." Go to the ladies' room, pop your pill, take your deep breaths, whatever you got to do, and then go back. Try to stay calm. Okay? Okay, it's better, painkillers is better than drinking yourself to death. You know what I mean? Don't do anything rash. It might be satisfying to lash out, knock the supervisor in the head, beat her up, take her wig off, and then, destroy the computer equipment or punch somebody out, whatever. But that's not the way to go. That's not the thing to do. You need to think before you act, and you need to protect your reputation now more than ever. Okay? No matter how much you feel like going off, try to stay focused and calm and don't do it. I know you're angry at this moment when you've gotten fired. You may be sad because you can't understand why they fired you, And I will talk more detail about it again when we meet next week. But if you do something rash, just don't do anything rash. Try to keep, speak to you from a distance. Just try to, stay calm. I guess the basic thing to do is keep your mouth shut. There was a show with Nicole Kidman, I remember, when she thought she was about to get a promotion. She had just finished a speaking engagement before a large crowd, and then her boss calls her in her office and tells her she had to let her go. And I saw the look on her face, and she was like, "What? Excuse me? You're letting me go?" She didn't say nothing. So she said, "Oh, yes, I understand. Sure. Yes, I understand perfectly." And she packed her stuff, honey, and when she got in that elevator, she let out the biggest and the loudest scream that you ever heard. Now, yes, you're going to need to release those emotions, but don't do it at your place where you're working at, okay? If you do something rash, you may regret it for like 20 to 30 years. But of course, and you have to remember that sometimes, I'd rather curse you out, though. If I have to do anything at all, I'll call you everything I can think of but a child of God. I'd rather curse you out. You can't arrest me for cursing you out. You can call the cops on me for them to escort me out if I'm not leaving, but you cannot arrest me for cursing you out. But you can arrest me if I hit you, if I destroy your equipment. That you can get arrested for. But if I have to lash out at you, I can lash out at you. And then I'm going to tell you about a story about what happened to me on the number of occasions when I've actually gotten fired. And I'm not telling you a lot. In 2015, I believe I had 5 jobs, 5 or 6. Okay, I had 5 or 6 jobs, and I got fired from every one of them. Okay, now you have to remember that sometimes it's not your fault when you get fired. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. How you know it's your fault when you come in late all the time? You're sitting there, you're supposed to be typing and you're just barely moving your fingers. when you're getting up every half an hour or so, or more frequently, to get coffee, to socialize, to go to the bathroom, and really don't want to be there, you know. But if you're like me, and you have skills, especially as you get older, when I think when you pass 40, that's when things really start happening. To the contrary, it gets to get a little harder to find a job. See, now what happens with me is that I actually have to downsize my resume and say that I work for my own company so that I can get a job. I tell them I'm a licensed real estate broker. Oh, you're a licensed real estate broker. In the back of their mind, they're thinking, why is she coming to me looking for work? If I try to register for temp work, if I go to a temporary agency, I'm looking for temporary work. But temporary agencies are in the business now of making money, for permanent placement. And by law, you have to have a license in order to be an employment agency, which is what they're acting as if they get you something on a permanent basis. Now, yes, you need a job. More than likely, temp agencies, and I'll talk about it in more detail in another book that I have for you, which is the opposite of this one. You're Fired, and this actually is available right now on Lulu.com, CreateSpace.com, and I have a website now. It's called AffordableHomesAndApartments.com, but it's HTTP / not www. Now, don't ask me what the difference is, but that's the way you get to my website. You go HTTP / AffordableHomesAndApartments.com. Okay, my email also is AffordableHomesAndApartments.com, AffordableHomesAndApartments@gmail.com, or you can go sblack3001 @gmail.com. Okay, and the DVD will also be available as well. Now, I can ebook it to you. I can, download it to your tablet. I can download it to your phone. I can download it to your computer in any form that you would like. You can contact me, email me, sblack3001 @gmail.com, and I'll be more than happy to give you an ebook which you can download and take wherever you are so that you can be reminded on a daily basis. Stay calm. Don't freak out. It's going to be all right, And like I said with me, when they let me go, when they fired me, they call me in the office, it's because it's clearly evident that I'm overqualified for these jobs. It's clearly obvious that I'm overqualified because, like I said, I have to downsize my resume. If I wrote down on my resume every job that I had, I'd have to write another book. I swear. That's why I said I can go and get it, and it's all a matter of public record because the IRS keeps a record of all your jobs. If you make over a certain amount of money, you have to file taxes, so sometimes you don't have to file. But I file anyway, just so that nobody else can claim me, and I file. And, I have to downsize my resume and say that I work for my own company. And whenever they call, I always give myself a perfect reference, so it's a done deal. But when I get these jobs, customer service representatives or whatever, and it's like, why are you hating on me? Just let me do my job. I'm qualified to do the job. I passed the test, the background checked. I passed all the tests that you give me, and I'm doing the job. I come here every day. I do what I'm supposed to do, and yet you're hating on me because I'm better at it than you are. Well, I don't want your job because I have my job. I have two jobs. I have several jobs, actually. My real estate is my career. It's my lifestyle. If I could find something in that field where I could get paid for it, I would love to do it. But that I take passionately, and I'd rather be in business for myself when it comes to real estate. So I'd rather get something with a job with somebody else that's completely unrelated to what I do for myself. Because when I work for somebody else, there I am revealing secrets. And I've done that before, whereas I've actually revealed secrets of my websites, with the foreclosure websites to a mortgage company. And I don't like doing that. I don't want nobody knowing my secrets unless you're paying me for my secrets. And I put my secrets in my books. And this book is called You're Fired, and it's available at Lulu.com. I think it's CreateSpace.com and Amazon.com also. But it'd be better off to get it at Lulu.com. Well, actually go to my website, and you can actually get it directly from my website there. I'm also offering online workshops and seminars also. So there'll be a workshop on there for this. If you're interested, just email me. Let me know you're interested, and we'll send you all the details in terms of how you can enroll. Now, the main thing to do is when you get these jobs is to stay calm. You know, a lot of us are definitely overqualified, especially when you, I think when you pass 40, you know, here you are, an older individual, you know, and the company's seeing, you know, they're looking at you and they see an older individual, you know, rather than they feel that they'll be better, more equipped than hiring a younger individual. Now, you have to also think about it from a financial perspective. Now, when I was told that the reason why Buffalo had went down in the first place, the reason why, you know, a lot of people have moved out and relocated and a lot of jobs were lost about, 15 years ago or so, was because Buffalo was greedy. Now, they didn't say Buffalo was greedy, but that's what happens was that merchants had decided they could get products and services elsewhere cheaper. And they asked the people who they were doing business with here in Buffalo if they would go down on the price. But the merchants said no. So instead they took their business away from the merchants and out of the factories in Buffalo and took them elsewhere where they got them cheaper. So then and hence the business just failed and collapsed. And everybody that worked for the company was out of work, and all the houses that they had to relocate and leave everything behind. So, and that's what I believe it's all about with these companies, you know, it's big business. Especially since minimum wage is going up on a regular basis. When minimum wage stayed at $5, they didn't have anything to worry about, employers didn't. You know, now, and I think those who have picketed outside of McDonald's, I think they're the ones who perhaps got this implemented and got this started. Because they were picketing outside of McDonald's and saying, hey, look, why you got to pay us minimum wage? You know, pay us $15 an hour. That's why you keep having a turnover. You're losing time interviewing people and whatnot, and being understaffed because you're not paying people enough money to work here and long enough to want to stay here. I'm going to want to find a better paying job somewhere else. I'm just working in now because I need something immediately. You know, and it's about the money. You know, a lot of companies, they say, you know, they don't want to, you know, would you hire an older individual who wants more money, or as opposed to a younger individual that you can pay less money to? The minimum that you can pay is minimum wage. But as an older individual, somebody that's 40 or over, are they going to want to make what a 20-year-old would make? No, they're not. You know, and then a lot of times, you know, some of the stupid questions that they ask me, you know, they'll say, this, you know, you have to have a part-time job, maybe 20, 30 hours a week, right? And I am sitting across them applying for this job. And they'll say, why are you applying for a part-time job? And I want to say, because that's the job, that's your job that you're offering, it's part-time. If you offer full-time, I'll apply for that, you know. But see, they don't understand a lot of times, you know, we got to take what we can get. You know, it's not that we can be choosy about it. I've tried to get a job in the real estate field, but it takes a long time for people to consider your resume because there's so much competition out there, if you know what I mean. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of competition is out there. And I've actually went on interviews. I've taken my book, one of my books that I wrote that related to the industry, and my resume, my copy of my paperwork, and my credentials. Still didn't get the job. It's not out here. It's not the way to go. So what I do is I have to take the risk of getting fired from the job just so that I can get the job. You know, and I realize that the way I get the job, because like I said, my background is choppy. I get jobs and whatnot. You know, when I was younger, you know, but I can't put, you know, my jobs that I had when I just got out of high school. You know, when I was 20 years old. That's the years ago experience. You know, we're talking about more recent experience. I want to know, what have you been doing recently? You know, I had a study background when I first got out of high school, but then as I got older, then I started, you know, becoming more knowledgeable and everything. And a lot of jobs I would get, they would teach you how to do the job. And so I learned a new skill at practically every job that I had. You know, so when you get a job, don't always think that it's your fault that you get fired, because it's not always your fault. A lot of times also when you get a job, and I'm talking about my book, You're Fired, Handling the Exit Interview with Grace. It's available on Lulu.com. A lot of times, you know, there was a, I don't remember exactly what the name of the movie was, but it was about this, there was a job opening for an executive, and a woman got the job. And her secretary it was always started that she had an attitude with her. And the executive asked her, she says, do you have a problem with me? And she said, I'm looking for a husband, okay? You know, so you have to realize that a lot of times when people, you know, they have to like you in order to get you the job. That's true. You know, you have to be skilled and qualified also, okay? You have to pass all the tests, the background test, the drug test, sometimes the credit check, okay? And then you have to do the job, you know. But a lot of times these people, when they get, you know, when you get the job, they're looking for a companion. They're looking for someone to keep their bed warm for them. And that's not why I get the job, you know. Now, when I was younger, I may have done something like that, you know, play around in the office, date this man, date that man, so that I can have keep the job or whatever, flirt with him and everything like that, and I would hold on to the job longer. And once I stopped dating him, the job would end. You know, and I'm like, you know, don't you get that at home? You know, why you got to, you know, isn't it good enough that I did it once so I can get the job? Now I gotta keep going out on a date with you. I gotta keep having dinner with you, and I have my own life to live. You know, and that's exactly what they want. So it's a lot of different contingencies in respect to you getting a job and holding on to the job. A lot of times, like I said, it's not your fault that you get, you know, fired. I mean, but don't go in there dressed all sexy if you don't want nobody looking at your derriere, okay? Dress professionally. Like me, I have to always have a jacket on because I have large breasts, you know, so, but anyway, we're about to conclude with this episode here. So just remember, it's not always your fault that you get fired from a job. You know, when you get fired from a job, just keep in mind, just try to stay cool and stay calm. I'm going to continue with this next week and talk some more about your fired, you know, and how to handle the exit interview with grace. And I'm going to give you some pointers and some tips on how to handle the exit interview with grace. So I just want you to just try to be calm and just try to, the basic thing when you get fired, keep your hands to yourself and keep your mouth shut. You'll be safe if you do that. If you keep your hands to yourself and you keep your mouth shut, you'll be in a better position than if you just, you know, say something. Remember, don't do anything rash. You know, try to stay calm. Keep calm at all costs. You know, like I said, if you have to curse somebody out, if you absolutely have to, try to do it under your breath rather than in their face. You have a better chance at survival. You know, I can, you know, a lot of times I keep my mouth shut all the time. And then when I open up my mouth and say anything at all, it's a relief. Sometimes it's actually quite therapeutic. One time I was getting fired and they called me in the office, and the first time that I worked there in 6 months, I had met the two top dogs. And she called me in there and I was ready to just listen to what she said and go back to work. And she started insulting me. And I exhibited anger. And then the other guy came in and said, "What's all the hostility about?" I said, "You lucky, that's all I'm doing is expressing hostility verbally." You know, and then he's whispering to her what happened and everything, and then they finally realized what happened, and I was able to just tell her off without saying one curse word. I tell her how I felt about her company, you know, what I thought she could do with it. You know, I didn't tell her where she could put it, but, you know, and I just was, you know, letting off steam. And then whatnot, she said, "Well, if you don't stop yelling and whatnot, I'm going to call the cops." I said, "Well, I'll call them too." I said, "You might end up being the one going to jail." You know, so anyway, join me next week while I continue to talk about You're Fired, handling the exit interview with grace. And I want to thank you for joining me today and ask you to holler at a sister, y'all. And visit me my YouTube address, sblack3001@gmail.com. Holler at a sister.